So you're saying it's okay for Muhammad to marry a child of 6, consummate at 9 because puberty was earlier? That much earlier? And if that's the case, she's still a child who had puberty at 9. And let me ask you a question. If really she was not a child, but she was a grown up, why was she playing with dolls according to the hadith? Anyways, all of that aside, you still have a big problem. Either Muhammad is a man for all times and he's a role model for all societies, or only for the 7th century. You can't justify his actions based on the 7th century morals and say back then it was okay. Because it's not okay. It's not okay to marry a child. It's not okay to sleep with a child. We know that children cannot consent. Children cannot understand what they're getting into. And maybe, yes, that was common in the 7th century, but Muhammad being the role model for all times shouldn't be engaging in things that'll be problematic and that future it will cause problems for young women of future generations. Let me show you what happened because Muhammad wanted to marry a child. Muslim clerics resist Pakistan's effort to end child marriage. Even in Yemen, vote on child marriage law was delayed because, of course, Muhammad, right, married a child. And then we have this story about Saudi Arabia, which actually has curbed child marriage but not banned it. So Saudi Arabia is also slowly getting in line with the times, but a little bit too slow. 1400 years of girls suffering. So why is it a problem to marry children? The reason why it's a problem is young women's bodies have not developed physically. The hips are not wide enough to bear a child. If Muhammad is Rahmatul lil Alameen, mercy to the worlds, shouldn't he be a mercy to the little girls as well? Shouldn't he be a mercy to all the little girls all over the world who have suffered through marriages to old men? I have a daughter myself, and I would not let her marry an old man. Simple. I would be okay with her choosing her own partner, but of course not as a child. I'd hope for her to be at least a grown up before she starts getting into relationships like that. So that's my question. Why is Islam so bad for humanity? If you look in the Quran as well, there's also another problem. And even those of you who are saying that the Quran doesn't allow you to consummate a marriage until your wife has reached the age of puberty, you can see right here that this Quran verse is talking about divorcing a woman, and divorcing a woman who you have slept with, who has not menstruated. So this is talking about young girls who have not menstruated, and you have slept with them. What do you do? How do you divorce them? What's the waiting period? What's the idda period? Because there's no period, right? And normally you have to wait for 3 months, right? You have to wait for 3 months, so there's no doubt that the woman is not pregnant.